Agent Romanoff. You miss me?
Oh yeah, Charles, we got ourselves an X-Men fan.
Captain.
Your Highness.
Captain, big fan, Spider-Man. Hey everyone.
Hey guys, and welcome to Film Artsy, your number one source for all things films and movies. My name is Elijah, and if you guys remember back to last year when Avengers Endgame hype was at its highest and Captain Marvel had just released, there was a lot of people talking and speculating around Brie Larson and what type of role she would have as an actress in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. There was a lot of talks about a possible beef that she had with Chris Hemsworth over some comments about doing her own stunts. We actually did a whole video already covering that if you guys haven't seen it already, and talking about just kind of the aftermath of all of that and what it looks like nowadays with all of the information being out there rather than just the rumors that were circulating around back when that started. But it is really interesting though to see that Brie Larson is very extremely proud of some of the stunts that she has done on her own rather than needing to use a stunt double for all of the scenes in her movies. Now of course in some scenes she does rely on a stunt double, but for scenes where she feels safe and capable of taking on some sort of stunt and the team feels like it would make for a better shot of the film, Brie Larson has been very involved in doing some of the stunts in her movies. So today we wanted to take a look at some of the best moments of Brie Larson doing stunts in either Marvel Cinematic Universe movies or just any movie that she's in. So let's go ahead and jump into this. Now this first one is very interesting because this one actually came out long before we actually saw Captain Marvel, but we did see this clip of Brie Larson hanging from a rope, which of course was used in the flashback sequence in the film where we see her in her training when she was going into the Air Force. And this is Brie Larson hanging from the rope in this scene, and it's really interesting to take a look at. Now we have even more stunts we're going to take a look at in a second, but real quick, we wanted to give a shout out to our Marvel Monday winner. If you guys didn't know, every single Monday we ask a challenging Marvel trivia question over on the community tab of our channel. So if you guys aren't subscribed yet to Film Artsy, make sure you guys do head over to our channel, subscribe, and head over to the community tab and participate in our Marvel Monday trivia question for a chance to have your comment featured right here on this channel. If you answer the question correct, you actually have a chance of having your comment featured in an upcoming video, so make sure you guys are here every single Monday and Thursday if you're more into DC for DC Thursdays. All right, let's get back into the video. We also got to see Brie Larson talk exactly about what went into the workout routine for getting ready for the role. And it is interesting to see kind of this insight, this first-hand perspective as to what that looks like. As we can see, if we look into the behind-the-scenes stuff that came out with Captain Marvel and just the making of the film, we can actually see Brie Larson herself in a lot of different sequences where she's attached to wires for the sequence and scenes that they are filming.
And I think it was really important for Brie to learn how to fight.
By the time we started shooting, I had been training for 9 months, and I'm glad that I did. Doing fight sequences up and down a train for 3 days felt kind of alive.
The thing that I found so unique about this character was that sense of humor mixed with total capability.
We also got these really interesting moments from behind the scenes stuff when we saw Brie Larson training for some of the pilot sequences where she got to fly in a jet and get to experience that. And it's really interesting just to see some of the behind the scenes stuff that went into that, where we see Brie Larson talking about the experience and what it's like to fly in a jet.
And you're in the lucky position being a co-pilot of a F-16 jet, so what kind of feeling is that?
It was cool. It was really special. Experiencing 6.5 Gs was really wild and super helpful in the end, because there's a lot of times where I'm piloting planes in the movie and I knew what it was like. I understood that experience, even just what Gs feel like.
Going to Avengers Endgame, we actually know that some of the action sequences we see with Captain Marvel in the final fight is, of course, of Brie Larson herself. We actually have this behind-the-scenes shot from Avengers Endgame where we see all of the female Avengers come together for that one short off scene that was really cool in the film. We get to see them all running here, including Brie Larson.
You know, I normally don't watch all the women of Marvel, and I thought it was really powerful and really, really nice thing to be a part of.
It's never been in a film with this many women and this many strong women who stand equal to the men.
There's how magical it is to allow women to express their full gamut of their power and their abilities.
Then if we go back to Captain Marvel, we can actually see some more Brie Larson doing some Captain Marvel cable work in front of a blue screen, which is actually what they use in the studios to kind of build these very unique digital sets. And that's how a lot of these sequences look so visually appealing in the movies once they finally release.
And action!
We've always had powerful female characters in our movies, but having Captain Marvel as the title character for the first time feels like it's overdue.
We also know from various interviews along the way that Brie Larson had a very intensive workout routine for getting ready for the role of Captain Marvel. Now, not only was the workout routine in place so that she could be in shape to fit her character, but also, interestingly enough, that since Brie Larson was planning to be involved in some of the stunts, she had to have the physical capability to pull off the stunts that are in the film. So it is really interesting to see that there's some vigorous workouts that go into being an actor in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
It's part of it. It's part of what I was looking for, and part of why I wanted to train for that long and train that hard was I like meeting myself. I like facing myself. I like pushing myself and seeing how far I can go in situations that feel uncomfortable, and that's a huge part of what training is. It seems sort of silly because you think it's just like just lifting weights in the gym, but it actually can be a lot more than that if you let it, if you want it to be.
It's mental. It's here too. You're really pushing it.
We also got some really interesting insight when they were working on Captain Marvel as to how they did the train sequence fight scene, which was not only iconic back when the trailer first released, because there was some really interesting and shocking moments for the trailer if you hadn't known the story, but also the train sequence was a pretty big action scene in the movie. So it's cool to see how they put this together.
This is Walter Garcia, our fight coordinator, making a little appearance. He is dressed like the other guy, but he is not the other guy. Brie had a really hard time elbowing him in the chest because, you know, she liked him so much and he was basically her sensei.
But he typically has a lot more facial hair. He shaved for us to do this, and we were very appreciative.
Then, if you guys remember the barrel roll stunt from the movie, we actually have insight as to how they were able to pull that scene off.
I mean, I was fine. I mean, I puked the entire time, but I was fine. Really? Yes, the entire time. We were simulating a dogfight, dude. Like, you're going all over the place. There's no way. All the pilots were like, oh, you'll be fine, 50-50 chance. Like, just don't have a margarita the night before. I'm like, okay. I get car sick in the back of a car, like looking at my phone. Like there was no way I was getting through that without puking. But I gained a lot of respect because I didn't want to go back down on the ground. I kept going.
And then of course, if we're going to be talking about stunts, we should probably acknowledge the answer to the question that caused all this controversy in the first place, where people thought that Brie Larson was kind of upset with Chris Hemsworth. However, it is relevant for this sake because she is talking about what it is to do the stunts and why she feels like it's important to do her own stunts. And it is a really interesting take because we've talked about this before on the channel, that having that extra level of commitment to your character can make or break a movie and make a major difference. And it is really interesting to see how much thought and effort goes into pulling off some of these stunts. And of course, we like to look at this clip now knowing that there isn't any real actual beef between Chris Hemsworth and Brie Larson. It was just kind of this awkward moment that got completely taken out of context that was later on explained easily. So what do you guys think about Brie Larson doing stunts? Do you guys like it when actresses or actors in the Marvel Cinematic Universe try to be involved where they can with some of the stunts? Of course, they aren't able to do all of their own stunts, and they always have to have kind of a professional for some of the more complex stuff, but it is really interesting to see these people jump on where they can and do something really unique. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe with notifications on for more videos just like this. Also, real quick before we go, if you want more short form content just like this, you can check out our Instagram. There's a link in the description down below. We put a bunch of content on there too, so make sure you guys give us a follow as well. All right, we'll see you all next time with a brand new video.
I'm about to.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, everybody. How you doing?
Hi.
See you guys.